everyone, welcome to our show, Edge Computing in Action. I'm Ashley. As AI becomes a bigger part of our daily lives and expand across more devices than before, Edge AI is gaining more attention than ever. This is driving a growing demand for Edge servers. Today, we have Magic Pal from Advantech to join our discussion to share with us how Advantech's approach to Edge servers market and what's the future of Edge server market. Let's welcome him.
Hello,
Magic.
hello. Yeah.
And we know that at the recent MWC, we have seen companies like Gigabyte and Dell launch their new Edge server new products. And we know that Advantech has been engaged in this market for many years.
Yeah.
So the first question, we're curious about that. What's the key differences between the target application markets of Edge server and the commercial servers?
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Just like you said, right now, more and more people notice that Edge server is becoming more and more popular. But from the server technology perspective, we can see the whole industry is shifting from the cloud-centric to the decentralized of computing. I think the major consideration for this kind of change is because that people want to have more like low latency, lower power consumption, cybersecurity considerations, and also communications. I think that's a key factor and consideration that we want to have a server in the edge. But if you look at the whole industries, like people want to use this kind of edge server, it include like transportation, smart spaces, like medical image, like a semicon, this kind of application at the edge. They want to have high performance computing, but at the same time, they also need to have that kind of consideration, just like I mentioned. So if you look at it, major driving force for this kind of change is because that two key factors. One is about the image processing at the edge. Another one is all body talk about the AI inference at the edge. So based on these two kind of the force, we can foresee for the edge server demand is getting stronger and stronger.
Wow, so the Edge server demand is getting stronger right now. And we're also curious about that. What are the most promising and high growth applications today from your perspective?
Yeah, just if you back to the AI inference, just like I mentioned, right? AI will be integrated into all the edge computing. I don't want to say 100%, but at least 80%, 90%, those edge computers need AI integrated. I think that's the most emergent power to drive the whole market demand. Okay, so if you ask me that what the market grows, I can say that it will be like triple within 3 years.
Wow.
And each year probably like 30% of common growth rate. So I call it like 5-3-3 growth model in next 3 years for edge computing and edge AI. And if you ask me about what Advantech's edge server strategy for this, I want to tag a term we call it GECH, GEC.
GEC.
Okay, GECH, G means like global service. Because for edge server require more and more this kind of a global deployment footprints. Second one is about edge deployment. Okay, when we talk about this kind of edge server, most of our customers need your edge deployment. Edge deployment include like we do the installation, after service, etc. That's we so-called edge deployment. And for the computing and cross-platform, we see edge server is not only about we typical like x86. Or like a server computing. It's also included different computing platforms, but also include like lots of sensors. You need to be integrated into our server platforms. So it's kind of the cross-platform integrations. The last one, but not least, is about edge high performance computing. So when we call it high performance computing at the edge, it includes that how do we deploy that kind of we so-called high performance computing? In the past, it's just like in the back-end side, like a data center, CSP, those kinds of vendor provided. But right now, we need to put that at the edge. It involves lots of consideration in terms of like the reliability, deployment, the kind of things. So that's also the challenge, but also the good chance for us to serve our customer in the next couple of years.
So we are curious about that. What are advantages in this market, and what makes Advantech different from your competitors?
Yeah, I think that this is really good question. It's also kind of things that most of the customer access or like our partner access, but it's different from like we want to offer this kind of solution to our customer. Instead, it's more like we are deeply get involved in this market, and now today. We found that most of the customers have this kind of pain points. So we try to provide this kind of edge server solutions to support our customer upgrade their applications. If you look at AI inference, everybody talk about that for sure, right? But if you want to give you the idea how edge AI will be growth the next few years, recently like Li Kai-fu, he has a speech. He mentioned this. I think he gave the very good index for this kind of edge AI inference market. He said like each year, edge AI intelligence grows 30%. So it's really tremendous growth compared to other technology we see before, right?
Yes.
And if you look at the cost, especially for the AI inference, each year, it dropped 10 to 20 times. It means like the cost dropped times is quite weird. But if you look at the how many tokens per computer capacity, it dropped a lot. So we can foresee in next couple of years, the inference cost, AI inference cost will be like zero.
Wow.
Okay, so when the cost drop down a lot, so the market, I think it will be grow a lot for sure, because everybody can afford this kind of change, right? And each year we can also foresee we can have the 3 or 6 new model will be pop up. Like this year, DeepSeek just pop up, right?
Yeah.
So it changed a lot, but every year we can foresee this kind of a change will be happening for sure. So based on this kind of AI inference at the edge growth model, we can provide a kind of we so-called vertical large model to serve specific customer in certain domain. So it's different from like we so-called LLM. Instead, we provide smaller model, cost effective, but more like domain specific focus.
Yes, as you mentioned, the LLM is a driving force of generative AI, and DeepSeek's emergence has gained a lot of attention in the market. So my question is, how does DeepSeek's emergence to influence the LLM's market? What do you see in the future, future trend?
I think it will be bring a lot of whole industrial change, but it means like when DeepSeek pop up, we can understand. We can put an LLM model at the edge devices. So if you ask me that what the edge devices we can put LLM,
yes.
I can show you that we can put LLM in smaller intelligent camera device to edge computings, to edge servers, then even to the we so-called L11 whole rack of edge server solutions.
How about smartphone or smartwatch?
Smartphone, smartwatch, this kind of smart devices along with that it will be also intelligent integrated, right?
Yes.
So it will be a huge market. But in the past, it's not easy to do that because that AI, this kind of modeling costs a lot. But just like I said, when we foresee like this kind of KPI, the cost for the AI inference is dropping and dropping. So it will bring whole industry change like this.
Wow. So how are Advantech strategy for LLMs market in the next 2 or 3 years? You mentioned that the LLMs market will grow in future, right?
Yeah.
So what are your strategies?
So right now, if you could look at our portfolios of our product line that we cover from the smaller devices, like I mentioned, that the intelligent camera, to the edge computing, to the edge server, to the L11 whole rack solution. We try to serve most of our customers based on this portfolio. But hardware is one thing. But the most important thing is that when we come from to our customers, they feel like if Advantech can support me with this kind of change, how do you support me with the middleware of layer? Okay, so that we so-called we provide the wise edge solutions. Okay, we want to provide this kind of middleware to integrate and also connect these devices together with us customers' applications for the domain-specific focus.
Okay, we see. And we have also noticed that Advantech is entering L11 full rack market. Do you face any challenges to enter in this market?
Yeah, for sure. That because right now, if you talk about L11 whole rack of solution, we immediately can think of that, just like you mentioned, Gigabyte, they are this kind of, we call it typical commercial server provider. They provide this kind of L11 to CSP or like a data center. But our edge server L11 is totally different from this. I can give you an example. One of our customers, they come to Advantech and say that, Magic, can you do me a favor? Because right now that we are using commercial server for this kind of application, we want to have a whole rack to do the very complex of high performance computing. But they require edge service. So when I say edge service, it includes we provide longer life cycle, revision control, that kind of we call industrial services terms to most of our customers. And when we want to offer L11, it's not like we just provide a solution and promote to our customer. Instead, we want to provide a solution to serve our industrial customers. So if you ask me that what the industry may be impacted by this kind of Advantech provide L11 solutions, I can say, first one, semicon equipment builders. They require more and more high performance computing. Okay, and image processing vendors, we so-called automatic optical inspection vendors. They require this kind of L11 solution. Medical imaging for sure. CT, MRI, this kind of high-speed medical image vendors, equipment builders. And also we see lots of the smart spaces customers also require this kind of L11 solutions. So it's totally different from the data center, right? But we provide this to serve this kind of domain we already familiar. But it's also a big challenge for us. How do I say that? When we talk about L11, normally that commercial vendor just build L11, build a rack, okay, and put this into the data center. It's more like in the optimal environment for the rack solutions. So, but for our customers, they want to put this in the edge. It means it will face more and more challenge space constraint, power consumption, thermal solutions, that kind of things. So as Advantech, when we announced that we want to provide L11 solution to our industry customers, we also need to help them to resolve this, right? And they can easily to adopt this. So from our strategy for the L11, right now we want to do is that we can have this kind of rack to follow the industrial regulation certification and provide to customers.
Yes, and how about liquid cooling? We know that when we talk about L11 market, liquid cooling has been a hot topic. Absolutely. So what's Advantech's progress in this area?
Right now, when we talk about no matter L11 or edge server or typical server computing solutions, direct liquid cool is a very hot topic for this whole industries, right? And if we talk about the liquid cool in data center, it's much easier because we build an environment for that kind of liquid cooling adoption. But just like I said, for industrial environments, it's totally different. Our customers have more, reliability considerations. When I say reliability consideration, means they need to have a smoke detection, vibration detection, certain environment certifications, and also thermal solution or liquid leakage, this kind of detections. So when we provide the solution to those customers, that we also need to ensure this kind of detection sensors will be also implemented into our L11 rack. But most interesting things for this kind of a rack is that we provide not only based on these considerations, but we also need to think about it. When they want to deliver this and deploy in the field, how Advantech could do the after service to them. So it's kind of whole package solution thinking. So we provide this to the customer. At the same time, we also provide this kind of after service. So it's different from the just like typical LLM solution provided commercial vendors.
Okay, and the last question I think that many Advantech customers are really interested in, that is, when can we expect to see Advantech to launch your new products in L11 market?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's also very important because to have a clear timeline to provide this to the end customer is also very important. Yeah, we will have a demo in this year, Computex.
This year, Computex.
Computex.
So we can see that at your booth?
Yeah, in our booth,
cool.
you can see we will have rack. Also, we also equipped like liquid cool, direct liquid cool to show to our customers. How can we build that? How can we support them to do that? Basically, that we provided with so-called a golden skill. Because for industrial customers, it's different from like data center I mentioned. They want Advantech and provide this kind of golden skill for them to be easier to understand how to utilize this kind of LLM technology in the domain focus applications. So we provide this kind of golden skill. We share this kind of use case that during our Computex booth.
Wow, thank you, Magic, for your wonderful sharing. If you are interested in Edge server, any products, or just like Magic mentioned about the L11 new products, you have to go to Advantech's Computex booth. So we see you there. Goodbye.
See you in Computex.